This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, everyone. So let's start our today's session. Very quickly, let's move to the topic. So in the previous class, we have done with few very important things. Now, again, these are all the series of important chapters what we are going to discuss. So practice it regularly so that you may be up to date till we reach the end of our curriculum. So we are going to talk about backup and restore. Now, when we talk about backup and restore, this is not a complete backup or restore of your system. It is backup and restore of your important data that you want to take a backup and restore whenever you want. Suppose you have a mount point, an application directory that contains all application stuff. Okay, so you want to take the backup of it and keep it with you. In case wherever it is necessary, you want to restore it back. So in that scenario, what can we do? See, in that scenario, you can take help of this mechanism, what we are going to learn. The complete system backup and restore will be done by a proper backup team, like we have TSM, Tivoli Storage Manager, Networker, Avamar, right? Different backup team is there, Net Backup, right? Many techniques are there through which your backup team will be collecting the backup of your every minutes, every seconds data, right? So this is the personal backup what we are going to learn, which is equally important for a system administrator to learn it. Now, suppose in this scenario, we have a directory, etc directory, whose size is 200 MB. Now, I want to collect the backup of this 200 MB directory, and I want to keep it in a closed manner so that whenever it is required, I can bring back the data from it. So we'll use a technique called tar. Tar is one of the famous technique to store your backup. Now, when you collect the backup in tar format, the data might get in a reduced or compressed size. From 200 MB, it is reduced to 190 MB. Now, this is not a direct compression I have done, but just because of backup, the size got reduced. See, if I have 2 GB of data, to keep the backup of 2 GB, I need another 2 GB space to store it. If I have 20 GB data, I need 20 GB free space to keep that backup, isn't it? So what my requirement is, I want to compress the data so that for storing a big size data, I should not need much space. Normally what we do in Windows also, guys, you use WinZip, WinRAR. With the help of that, you compress the size of the files. Same thing over here, we use different techniques to zip, like we have gzip or bzip. Different technologies are there. Whichever you like, you can take it. The most common is gzip, what I'm showing you in this example. So once you compress the data with the help of gzip, you will find that the size is reduced to a very good level. If not 100% reduction, guys, at least 60 to 70% of reduction would be there, and that itself is a big saving what you are doing. So 200 MB of data will be compressed into 20 or 30 MB, which is a great saving for me. Now that file I can keep wherever I want. I can keep it on internet. I can share it with others, whatever I want. Now, once I want to reuse it, then I need to come in the reverse format. See, as of now, the file is zipped. So in order to use it, I need to, first of all, unzip it. Now, after unzipping, the size will grow from 20 to 190 MB, but it is still protected by tar. Now, if you want to use it, you have to extract the data from that tarball to get back to your original size. So this is the way how you can collect the backup, compress it, and keep it, right? And whenever there is a requirement, you can unzip it, then untar it, and get back your original data from that particular directory or that particular file, whatever you have backed up. So basically, if you go on internet and try to download some big size softwares, like we have Nagios monitoring tool, or you have Zabbix monitoring tool, or the best example, Oracle databases, or you have SAP applications. These things comes in tar and zipped format. Even if you are working on virtualization, there is an important set of drivers in VMware called VMware tools. That is also available in tar and zip format. So if you don't know how to extract the data from that tarball or zip material, you will always have confusion. So many big size software will be available in tar and zip format. You need to download that from internet. After getting it into your system, you have to unzip it, untar it, and thereafter you can use it, right? So let's see an example. How can we personally tar the data or zip the data and reverse it? That is extracting and doing all such stuff, right? So first of all, we are going to learn how to tar. Suppose I wanted to take the data backup of etc folder. So I have this folder etc that contains all my configuration files. It's an important directory and I want to collect the backup. How can I collect the backup from that tarball? By using, how can I collect the backup from that original file is using tar. So tar command goes like this: tar hyphen cvf, where C is to create the backup, V verbose, show the output, what is going on, and F for forcefully doing the activity. Now, tar is little peculiar in syntax. Normally, whenever you are copying or moving anything, first you have to give source, and thereafter you have to give destination. But in terms of tar, first you have to tell where you want to store this backup, and then you have to say what exactly you are trying to backup. So maybe I'll say I want to keep the backup in OPT with a name etc.tar. So I'm telling that I wanted to collect the backup in OPT folder with whatever name you like, but extension should be .tar. If you miss out that extension, then it is not going to work out. Tar extension is very important with the file, so do not forget to add that extension tar to it. Then you say what exactly you are trying to backup. Let me show you. I'll log in into the machine first of all. All right. Now over here, I'm going to check the size of etc folder. I'll say df-h, or sorry, du-h. Show me the size of etc folder. Now, when you say du-h on any directory, it shows everything in the directory with its sizes. But the last line, you will see the size of complete directory that it is telling 30 MB. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'll use tail command. Tail, show me last line. So what's the capacity of etc folder? 30 MB. Now I want to collect the backup and keep it in OPT folder. So as you can see, there is nothing in OPT folder. So I'll say tar hyphen cvf create, show me the verbose output, and forcefully do this backup. Keep it in OPT with whatever name you like. Extension should be .tar. What you are trying to collect the backup of? I want to collect the backup of entire etc folder. So I'm telling create verbose forcefully collect the backup of and keep it there of etc. Let me hit enter. Now you see it collected the backup. Let us go into OPT folder. You can see there is a file. If you check the size is 28 MB. Original size was how much? 30 MB. After backup, the size is 28 MB. Now what I'm going to do is, this is not a big compression what happened. Slightly the size is reduced from 30 to 28 MB, but I really want to compress and keep it so that I can gain more space, or I may need less space to store this backup. So I'll go with our next command, that is gzip. See, we have different zips. You can go with zip only zip command that will also zip it, but it may not give you big compression. You can go with bzip also, or bzip2, or you can go with gzip. Simple syntax is there: zip and the file name, bzip and the file name, gzip and the file name. So I'll say gzip and the file name is hc.tar. Now, if you see after compression, the extension automatically got changed. Here, I did not mention any extension change, but automatically it has added that gz to it. If it is gzip, the extension will be gz. If it is bzip2, the extension will be bz2. So with that, you can understand it is gzipped or bzipped or just zip. Okay, but now if you check the size du-h and the file, so did you see from 28 MB the size is reduced to around 7 MB, right? So don't you think this is a big saving for me, that now onwards if I have to keep the backup of entire etc folder, original size is 30 MB but the backup collected is in just 7 MB, right? So like that you have to do it. Now, as I told you, you might get many software in this format on internet. When you have downloaded it, in order to use it, you need to first extract the data out of it. Now, let us say you just want to see what is inside this tarball. I don't want to extract anything or disturb it. Just I want to view what is inside it. To view what is inside it, I'll go with a command tar-tvf and the file name. Let's do more. Now, when you hit enter, you see it is showing you each and every file, its size inside that particular tarball. So it is showing you up that what is the total etc folder, and inside it, what are the things that are present. Every stuff it is showing you inside it with its detail. Now, I don't want to just view it. I want to extract the data out of it. So first of all, I have to unzip it. Thereafter, I need to untar it or extract the data out of it. See, how did we zip it? We said gzip and the file name. See, already it is zip, so it is not using tab key if I'm using it. But to unzip it, you have another command, gunzip. So guys, if it is zip, you have to say unzip. If it is gzip, you have to say gunzip. If it is bzip, you have to say bunzip. People call it gunzip, bunzip also, but actually it is gunzip or bunzip, followed by the file name. You see, automatically the extension will be gone. Now, if you check the size, du-h and the file, the size is back to 28 MB. Now, if I want to extract the data out of it, same like WinRAR or WinZip, what we use in Windows. We'll right click and say extract the data. Same thing we will do here. I'll say tar hyphen. While creating the backup, I told CVF. While extracting the data, I will say XVF. Extract the data, show me verbose output, what is going on, and I will go with forceful option. What is the file name? The file name is hc.tar. So you see the data got extracted, right? Now, if you do ls, you will find there is a folder called etc. If you check inside it, you will get all your data, what has been backed up, right? So this is the way how you can take the backup, compress it, share it with others, or keep it somewhere for your future requirements. Okay, now let me show you one more thing. I'll remove everything from here. Now let us say that I want to collect the backup of etc and I want to compress it. Both the things I want to do at once. So let's learn how to zip and tar together. So I'll say tar hyphen ZCVF, where Z stands for zipping, C for creating, V for verbose, F for forceful. So when you say Z here, it automatically do gzip, right? So we'll say that keep the backup in OPT folder with what name? The name should be etc.tar.gz. Here I have to give both extensions on my own. If I don't give proper extension, the file will not work perfectly. So whenever we are doing both activities, do not miss both extensions. You have to say tar and gz together. Or you can give a combination of both by using tgz. tgz means it is tar and gzip together. What you are collecting the backup of? I'm collecting the backup of etc folder. So you see this time, not only it collects the backup in tar format, but it do zipping format for you. If you just check out the size is directly 6.9. So I don't have to first tar and then zip. I have done both the activities in a single attempt. So this is widely done. Now, if you want to extract the data without changing the format. See, we have zipped and created the archive together. Now, if you wanted to unzip or you want to just extract the data without unzipping, I don't want to disturb the original format. Let the original format be as it is, and I want to extract the data out of it. So how can I extract the data out of it? You have to say tar hyphen zxvf, zcvf to create, zxvf to extract. From which file? The file name is etc.tgz. Now if you just check it out, you'll find that originally etc.tgz is exactly same. But if you look out the directory what we have collected the backup, let me go with last line, you will find out that it is back with 30 MB. So this is the way, guys, how you can collect the backup and zip it together, or you can extract the data without changing the original format. If you don't want to, change the format and just want to pull out the data out of it, then this is the technique what we have to do, right? More if you want to learn about tar and other, I would recommend you to please visit man pages. Just say man and tar or man and gzip or bzip. You will try to get more and more information about how and what to do the things, guys. Okay, all right. Now we'll use this particular thing in our next chapter. So what is our next chapter? It is job automation. Now, guys, name itself is hinting you that you are trying to automate your work. We also call this chapter as cron jobs or job scheduling, which is possible in every ways. See, guys, nowadays when smart things are around us, you can plan that so and so time. You can take it, no problem. Shabir, there is a question from Shabir that can we take this backup to external drive or tape? Of course you can take it. There is no problem. Just at the destination, you have to give where is your tape drive. Like if it is tape drive, it would be slash dev sr1, sr2, tp1, tp2. So that destination, if you give, it is going to get collected into that destination. There is no problem at all. Wherever you want, you can collect the backup and keep it. All right. So now let's come back to the topic I was talking about, job scheduling. So as I tell you about job scheduling, guys, it's like automating your work. I was telling you that today we are surrounded with many smart things, guys. Smart ACs, smart fridge, smart TVs, or smart lights, right? So what we can do, we can schedule a task that at what time they must get on, what time they must get off, right? Something like that. So same way in our Linux environment also, we can schedule some tasks to be run on its own without intervention of any users. For example, we want to initiate backup every Saturday midnight 2 a.m. So I don't have to be waked up at 2 a.m. in midnight and run a command. I can ask cron job or this scheduling concept to automatically initiate the backup and collect the backup for me. Like that, there are many tasks, guys, what you can schedule to be done for one time, or it may be repeated hourly basis, daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, or any arbitrary period that you require, right? So this chapter deals with how can you schedule a task. Why it is called as cron job also? The reason is the service which is going to handle all these jobs is called as cron. Cron is responsible to schedule your tasks and execute it on a given date and time. If you want to use this service, the first thing you should check that cron D services are running or not. So maybe I'll say systemctl status cron D. So you see the service is active, running, and it is enabled. So most probably it would be active, running, and enabled only. So if you are using cron job, the first thing I want you to go is with checking the services, whether it is running or not. If it is running, well and fine. If it is not running, then start the services first and then start using cron job. See, people can use any third-party softwares also. Like in Windows, we do. There are many built-in web browsers are there, Internet Explorer or Edge, but still we get habituated to some external third-party browsers like Chrome and others. So people might use their personal schedulers also in some cases, but overall workability is exactly same what we are going to learn with cron job. 90% or more than 90% we prefer going with cron jobs only. But in very exceptional cases, there are people who might prefer using some third-party schedulers as per your organizational requirements and all. But anyway, concept is same, so there is nothing to worry about any external or third-party thing. So let's learn some important configuration files. The first file is etc cron tab. Now this file, if you just view it, I'll read it, cat etc cron tab. It contains the format, how to schedule a task. Whenever you feel confused or you forget how to schedule a task, maybe it happens while we are working, we have not done scheduling for a long time. Now they are asking us to do something. Just come to this file. Take 2 minutes, read it cool and calmly, and understand what are the things it is asking us to put. So there are 5 fields what you have to put, followed by whatever command you have to execute. Now we'll understand those fields in a while. Every user can put their scheduling or cron part. For example, I have a user root, so root will have a separate list of job in a separate file. I have a user Shabir, so Shabir will have a separate list of his task, what he wants to execute, right? So where those files will be stored, it will be stored in var, spool, cron, and the username. So each user will get a separate file to store their personal tasks, what they want to execute automatically. To allow deny cron facility to some user, we have 2 files, etc cron.deny, which will not allow user to use cron facility, etc cron.allow, which will allow users to use cron facility. And the logs that when people edited cron file, what changes did they made in the cron file, when was the task executed, that list will be kept in log file var log cron. Now let's move ahead and let's try to understand the format. How can we schedule a task and what are the fields? As I told you, there are 5 fields followed by a command, what you want to execute. Field number 1, you have to start with minutes. How many minutes would be there in an hour? 50, 0 to 59. Overall 60 minutes, 0 to 59. Seconds cannot be given. You have to start with minutes only. So 0 to 59 minutes, you can choose any value you want to set. Field number 2, hours. So we have 24 hours in a day. You can start with 0 and maximum you can go up to 23 hours. So guys, it's 24 hours format. AM, PM will not work. So we have to give it in, you know, airways, railways, or military time. AM, PM will not work. 0 means 12 hours, 12 AM, like that. 23 means 11 PM, like that we have to work with. Now, third field we will be giving is day of month. Now, day of month is nothing but how many days or on which date exactly you want to execute it. Maybe I want to execute on 5th of July, 10th of July, something like that. So that is that, right? Followed by which month? We have 12 months in a year. One is January, two is February, you know that. So 1 to 12, we have to give that. Last field is day of week. As you know, we have 7 days in a week where Sunday to Monday or Monday to Sunday, however you say, you can give it starting with 0 and going up till 6. 0 is Sunday and 6 will be Saturday. Now, more clarity about the days, you can just get it from this file. If you go to this example, you can see day of the week. So Sunday is represented by 0 or 7. So Sunday can be 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, Wednesday is 3, Thursday is 4, Friday is 5, and Saturday is 6. So Sunday has an exception. You can call it 0 or you can call it 7. Two values have been given for Sunday. So 0 to 6, whatever value you want, you can give. 0 will be Sunday and it would be carry forwarded, followed by whatever command you want to execute. Now, the command can be anything: creating a logical volume, creating a volume group, adding a user, removing a user, or starting the scripts. Usually, guys, what happens in our environments, we will have some scripts, backup scripts, application scripts, middleware scripts, right? Or some performance scripts or monitoring scripts. So whatever scripts or commands you want to execute, you can put at the end. I'll show you practically. We'll create one script and we will see how to put it into cron. I'm definitely going to show that, man. It is will be very helpful. So first of all, let's do some net practice. Just we will try to work with these things, how we have to schedule it. Let us say that I'm going to show you a very stupid kind of cron job right now. Don't apply it. Just to show you, I want to reboot machine or reboot my system on 28th June at uh, maybe let's say that, or 29th June, let's say. Let's take one day ahead. 29th June at 7:30 a.m. So in the morning, 7:30 a.m., I have to reboot my machine or whatever time. Just I'm taking for an example. This is never happens, guys. We never reboot a machine with cron job. We always reboot it on our presence. I'm just showing for an example. So first field, I have to start with minutes. The minute I have to start is 30 minute. Just a single space between two field is enough. If you want, you can give tab space between two field also. I'm going with one single space. 30 minutes past how many hours? See, it is not 7 p.m. It is 7 a.m. So I need to give 7 only. If it is 7 p.m., then I have to give 19 or 18, whatever might be the proper value. Then again a space. What's the third field? Date. On which date you want to perform this activity? It should be 29. After that, fourth field is month. 29th of which month? 29th of June. So June means I have to give 6. Now 29th June is going to land on which day? It is going to land on Tuesday. So 1 is Monday, 2 is Tuesday. So I'm going to give 2. After that, whatever command you want to run, I will telling I want to run that command reboot. So you see 30 minutes past 7 a.m. on 29th June, that should be on Tuesday. I want to reboot the machine. So when you say like that, automatically at that particular time, as soon as the time reaches, the system will be reboot. Now guys, there will be one strict condition that the machine should be up and running to execute this task. Maybe at 7:30 a.m. if your machine is already down, your task is not going to get executed, neither it is going to get postponed or procrastinating. Nothing will happen. Same time, if it is available, it is going to execute it. If your system is down, it is not going to do anything. The command will fail. Nothing will happen. How it can run the command if the system is down, right? So system must be up and running to run this command. Now, next thing is maybe I want to create a directory in OPT folder with the name called cron. At what time or on what time? On again 29 June at maybe 9:45 a.m. Slowly we will go to PM also. Let's finish the AM part. Now what's the first field? Minutes. How many minutes we want? 45 minutes. Past how many hours? 9 a.m. So I'll just have to give 9. You can give 9 or you can give 09. That is your choice. I'm giving just 9. 45 minutes past 9 hours. Now, if it is 9 p.m., I would give 21. 9 a.m., I'm giving 9. It should be on 29th of June and it should come again on Tuesday. What I want to do, I want to create a directory. How can you create a directory? By using a command mkdir. Where you want to create it? In OPT with the name called cron. So automatically on your given date and time, this directory is going to get created. All right. Now let us say that I made a small mistake here. In place of Tuesday, I have mentioned Wednesday. So I told that 9:45 a.m. that should be 29 June, but it should be Wednesday. Guys, actually 29th June is coming on Tuesday, but by mistake I mentioned Wednesday. So what will happen? Will this task be executed or not? Guys, at least this year, it is not going to get executed. It will wait till entire phrase is matched. So it will wait when 29th June will come on Wednesday. Now it could be next year, maybe next to next year, or 3 years later, or 4 years later. When it exactly matches 29th June with Wednesday, then only it is going to get executed. So every value, whatever you are giving, should be perfect without any mistakes. If you do any kind of mistake inside it, it is always going to get effect with your task. Now, guys, if you don't want to take the chances with day, you are very sure that it should be 29 June. I don't care Monday to Saturday or Sunday to Saturday, which day it might be. I want it to be 29 June. That's it. I don't care which day it is. So if you are very sure about 29 June, don't want to give day, then just mention star in place of day. Star means any possible day. So just go with 29 June. Let it be Monday to Sunday, anything, right? So whenever you are concentrating on date, just put star in place of day. And whenever you are going with day specifically, then you can ignore date by using star. Star means any possible value. Okay, now let's say that same way, uh, I wanted to execute some script. Let us say, guys, we have a simple performance script to monitor the memory performance or something like that. So I want to execute a script which is kept in slash with the name called perf.sh, something like that. On 30th June at 1:30 p.m. Now, how can I execute it? See, guys, first minute, that is 30 minutes. Past how many hours? See, it is 1 p.m. 1 p.m. means I have to give 13 hours. Afternoon, that is 13. So 30 minutes past 13 hours. It should be on 30th June, and I don't care about which day it is. So I'll give star. So on 30th June at 1:30 p.m., I want to execute the script. What is the script name or location? The location is slash perf dot sh. Now, when you say perf dot sh, automatically on the given date, on the given time, the script will be executed, provided the script is having proper execute permission. See, whenever you are trying to run a script, first thing you have to check, go back to the basic class while we were learning execute permission. So I told you that execute permission is required for scripts. If a script does not have execute permission, then you will not be able to run the script. So first you have to make sure that the script has execute permission, and then that script you can put it into cron job and it will get executed. Okay. Now let's learn even more interesting part. Let us say that uh, I want to execute the same script, execute a script perf.sh on three different dates. For example, first, then third, then 5th of July. At what time? Same time, for example, 2:15 p.m. Now, guys, minutes are 15 and time is 2 p.m. 2 p.m. means 14 hours. 15 minutes past 14 hours. Now, guys, I have three dates. I told you that cron can be scheduled to do a task repeatedly for some period. So I have three different dates to mention over here. One way is you can create three separate tasks, or in a single line you can mention three dates. How? You have to say 1 comma 3 comma 5. Of which month? The month is July, that is 7th, right? And on what dates? Now, guys, I cannot give multiple dates, so better to use star field. So 15 minutes past 14 hours on 1st, 3rd, and 5th of July. It can be any day. I want to execute my script perf.sh, right? Now, let us say I have another monitoring script. So I want to execute a monitoring script mon.sh, for example, on, or in fact from 1st to 6th of July at 3:20 p.m. Now, guys, I have a range of days from 1st till 6th of July. So what can be done in this scenario? What time it is asking? 20 minutes past 3 p.m. 3 p.m. means 15 hours. 20 minutes past 15 hours. Now I have a range 1 to 6. Now how can I write it? You can say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 like that, or you can use a shortcut 1 hyphen 6. So that hyphen over here is treated as range 1 to 6. right? Of which month? That is July. It can land on any possible date, I don't care, but I want to execute my script mon.sh. So that is the way, guys, how you can give a range 1 to 6, whatever you want to execute. Now let us say that I have two different uh, ranges. So maybe I have another script, execute a script slash perfmon.sh from 1 to 5 and 8 to 12th July at 4:30 p.m. First of all, minutes, I'll give 30 minutes. How many hours? 4 p.m. So I need to give 16 hours. So AM, PM, this 24-hour format. Please be very careful with that. Now, guys, I have two range. First range is 1 to 5 that I have given. How to give another range? So I'll give comma first to 5 and then what is the next range? 8 to 12. Which months? Maybe it is July. So I'll just give July. July and August. So you can give 7 comma 8 also. So I have only one. Now it can be any possible days. I want to execute this script called perfmon.sh or any kind of script, right? Now let us say that I want to schedule a task or run a backup script bkp.sh every Saturday at mm, I want to execute it on every Saturday, maybe 6 p.m. for example, whatever might be the date, I'm just taking it randomly for one specific day. So I wanted to go for 6 p.m. sharp. That means 0 minutes past 17 or sorry 18 hours. 17 means 5 p.m., 18 means 6 p.m. Now it can be any possible date. I don't care which date it is, 1 to 31. It can be any date. Now which month, I don't care which month it is, but it should be Saturday for sure. So I'm telling at 6 p.m. every Saturday, this script bkp.sh must be executed. So that's how I wanted to run a task every week on Saturday. Or let us say that I want to execute a task every day at specific time. So I want to execute a task every day at 9:30 p.m. What is that task? Maybe I wanted to run the script mon.sh. So I'll say 30 minutes past 9 hours. It can be any day, any date, any month, any day. It should be 9:30 p.m. every day. So I'm sorry, it should not be 9, it should be 21. 9 if I give, it becomes 9 a.m. 21 if I give, it becomes 9 p.m. I'm sorry about that. So 30 minutes past 21 hours, any date, any month, any day, I want to execute this script. What is the script? The script is mon.sh. So every day the task will be executed. Now let us say that every hour if you want some task to be executed, right? Every hour you want to execute a task, right? Or let's say, let's make it even smaller. Every 15 minutes, I want a task to be executed. I want to run mon.sh script. How can I give every 15 minutes? So guys, I'll say 15 minutes. It can be any hour, I don't care. It can be any date. It can be any month, right? And it can be any day. I want to execute this script mon.sh. So is it going to execute every 15 minutes? Is it the correct thing what I have mentioned? Let's analyze it. See guys, what I have scheduled over here is I told that run a task every hours 15 minutes. So it is not every 15 minutes, it is every hours 15 minutes. That means 7:15, 8:15, then 9:15, then 10:15. I don't want that. I told every 15 minutes. I did not told every hour 15 minutes. So if you have such a calculative stuff, then you can give star slash 50. So when you give star slash 15, it becomes every 15 minutes. So it will be repeated every 15 minutes, 10:15, then 10:30, then 10:45, 11. 11:15, 11:30, 11:45, 12. Like that it is going to go. Every 15 minutes this task is going to get executed. If it is every hour, every 1 hour, maybe you want to execute it. So you'll give star and over here star slash 1. So every 1 hour or every 2 hour, every 3 hour, it is going to get executed. So that's the way, guys, how you can schedule anything. If you just master this 5 fields, what we have mentioned, then whatever task is given to you, you can execute it. Mostly, they will be given scripts that you have to run, or otherwise you can run any manual task, whatever command you want to do. Let's see, guys, practically how to do this thing. So we have understood all these options, star, star slash phi, commas, dashes. Let's learn the commands. Guys, to edit as a user your own file, you can use a command cron tab hyphen e. It opens your file where you can add your tasks. Or if there is no such file created already, a new file will be created for you. Okay. Then cron tab hyphen L. This is going to list all the tasks that you are trying to execute. Then we have cron tab hyphen R, dangerous thing that is going to totally remove that cron tab file. No tasks will be there. Now, as a root, you always have a power to view what other peoples are doing and what tasks they are executing. So you can go with cron tab hyphen U with a username. So you have to use it with combination of cron tab hyphen E U username. So it will open a file for any user. LU, it will list the task for any user. RU, it will remove a file for any user. Now guys, if you just check it out, ls var spool cron, do you find any user related file or any username file? So as a root, I have logged in, and if I say cron tab hyphen L, is there any file? No file, because there is no file created for any user. By default, no user will have cron tab file. Whenever they want to create or edit the file, they have to say cron tab hyphen E. This will either open existing file, or if there is no file created so far, a new file will be added. You see, when I hit enter, it created a new file for me. Let me just save and quit without any changes. I have not put anything, it's an empty file. Now you go with ls var spool and cron. Did you see now there is a file created for root? And if I say cron tab hyphen L, you'll find nothing inside it because it's an empty file. We did not created anything. Let's see a very simple example. I wanted to print a message on my screen after couple of minutes. So to check what is the date and time, you can go with the command date. This will tell you according to your machine what's the date and time. And guys, I'm working on some terminal. We discussed about terminal in user admin class that every user after login will be working on certain terminal. So which terminal I am, to check it, you can go with TTY. That is my screen address on which messages are getting printed. So on this terminal, maybe at 20 past 7, I want a message to be printed. How can you print a message? By using echo command. With echo, whatever you type, it will get printed. So echo is used for printing messages. Now let me go to cron tab hyphen E. So first I'll go into insert mode. I want to say 7 minutes past 20 hours on 28th of June. It can be any possible day. I want to print a message echo cron job, and I want to send this message to my terminal dev pts0. So what I'm doing, I'm telling print a message cron job, and this message you send, redirector symbol I am using greater than, to send this message to dev pts0 terminal. So on that particular terminal, I want to send that message. Let me save and quit. Now let's check what is the time. So it's couple of seconds remaining. Now if you run cron tab hyphen L, it tells you what's the task you have scheduled. So on this time, a message should be printed. Some couple of seconds remaining, not couple, at least 20 seconds are remaining. If you have made a mistake, you can again go to cron tab hyphen E and correct it. As I have not done any mistake, I'm still waiting for that time to come. So now 5 seconds, just 2 seconds remaining, and see what happens. See, automatically as it reaches to 7 minutes past 20 hours, a message has been sent or printed on my screen. You can check the task detail by going into var log cron also. If you read it, it will tell you at this particular time a task has been executed, and that is the task that has been executed. If there are any errors, here the errors will also be displayed. So as there was no errors, everything is fine. I'm able to get a proper output. Let's learn how to create a directory after a couple of minutes. Let's say in OPT, I wanted to add one directory. Maybe the name is cron dir. At what time? Maybe at 20 past 9. So I'll go for, or maybe 10. So I'll go for cron tab hyphen E. See, if this task is not yet executed, don't disturb it. Leave it as it is and open a new line below and put your task. But guys, as this task is already completed, I want to reuse that line. I'll just remove that 7, and in place of 7, I'll put 10. 10 minutes past 20 hours on 28 June. I want to create a directory. So how to create a directory? mkdir in OPT with the name crondir. Let me save and quit. Now you check the date. We still have full 1 minute remaining, right? Now, instead of I checking the date and checking OPT, checking the date, checking OPT, you can use a command called watch and ask watch command to repeat LSOPT. Every 2 seconds, automatically LSOPT command will be executed, and it will be checking what's the status. So you see it's 20 past 9, 28 seconds. As soon as it is 20 past 10, there should be a new directory created automatically. So let's wait for time to reach. Still we have more than 18 seconds remaining. So you see, as soon as the time approaches, a directory is created with the name called cron dir. That's how, guys, you can schedule any task it might be. Let us create one script and let's learn how to put a script into cron. Now I'm going to create a very dummy script. I mean, not exactly dummy, but not a real script, of course. Real script will have lots of logics, lots of important thing inside it. So it's a very, very basic script what I'm going to create now to collect the backup, for example. So let me create this file in slash with a name called bkp.sh. Maybe it's a backup script. First line, you have to start with hash and exclamation with shell location. This line is called as shebang line. Guys, I'm going to share shell scripting tutorials with you of my class as I promised. With this course, you'll get shell scripting recorded video tutorial. So when you learn that, you'll understand what is that line. It's actually telling to use bash shell to run this script. Now, as I told you, echo is used for printing messages. I'll say echo backup of etc starting. Maybe I'm collecting the backup of etc folder. Now I want people to view this message. If I run immediately the command after it, without seeing the message, the command will be executed very fast. So I'll make my script sleep for 5 seconds. So print the message and wait for 5 seconds for next step. Now what's the next step? Run tar command. Tar zip and create show verbose output. Do it forcefully. Collect the backup in OPT and I want to call it auto dot tgz auto etc dot tgz. So automatically collected etc backup. Okay, what you want to back up? I want to backup etc folder. Now once the command is executed successfully, I want to print a message. Backup is completed. Let me save and quit. So first step, printing a message, then waiting for 5 seconds. Actual command is executed. One more message. Very basic script, guys. You'll not find such script in real environment. Just for show you, I'm showing you, I'm putting it. ls-lbkp.sh. Now this is what I was talking about. If you want your script to be executed, it must have execute permission, at least for the owner or for everyone. So better everyone will be executing. I'll say chmod plus x bkp.sh. Let everyone, user, group, and others, all the three to have execute permission. So all the three will be now having execute permission. Okay, all right. Now moving forward, let's put this script into our cron job. So what's the date? It is 13 minutes past 20 hours. So maybe at 15 minutes past 20 hours, I want to execute this task. So I'll again edit the file cron tab -e. See, already this task is executed. So let me just replace something. 15 minutes past 20 hours on on 28th June, I want to run. So very soon, I want to run my script. What is the script? In slash. With what name? BKB and quit. Now you can just check the date and you can check cron tab hyphen L. So this is the task what you have executed. We have also verified that bkp.sh has execute permission. Now let's wait for the time to approach and let's see the task will be executed or not. So couple of seconds remaining now. As soon as it is 2015, the task will be automatically initiated. Oh, okay. The task is executed, guys. If you go and check in OPT, did you find that auto etc.tgz is executed? Now, if you say tail var log cron, it tells you what happened. Or maybe I'll go for tail hyphen 20 var log cron. So you see your task is executed and you got a message backup is completed. Now let us say that if you want to view the output, which is not a great idea, let me remove it. Maybe I want to view the output also. So what you can do is you can go to cron tab hyphen E. After the command is executed, you can say send the output, show the output on dev pts0. So I'm telling that run this command and show the output on that terminal. See, last time what did I showed you? That is the perfect example. We never add terminal address because who knows who will be connected to terminal 0, isn't it? But just to show you, I have added it. Okay, 16 minutes is also passed. Let us put it 17. Okay, so as it is 2017, the script will be executed and you will see the output on screen. So putting output on screen is not a great idea, but still. The messages started. 5 minutes, 5 seconds it wait. At the bottom you can see backup is completed. Let's go to the directory is created. So this is the way you can put a script. Please don't add in the script what we have mentioned, that output. I have just used that output to display that how the script is getting executed. Otherwise, we don't want that output because we never know who will be connected to that terminal. I don't want anybody's terminal to receive that messages, isn't it? So we never add that redirector option in real script. We simply put the first time what we did exactly the same way we will put. So give me a moment, guys. I'll be okay, guys. Fine. Now Let us say that we have one more user in the system who wants to execute his own tasks. So let me log in as one of the user. Let us say I want to log in as my user. Now, as my user, if I check cron tab-l, it says there is no file. Let me say cron tab-e, and you see a new file is created. Let me say I want to schedule a task at 30 minutes past 23 hours on 30th June. It can be any day. I wanted to create one directory. So I'll say mkdir. Where to create? In my home directory. Tilt represents home directory, you remember? So instead of typing slash home my user, I can use a shortcut tilt. So in my home directory, create a directory called mydir something. So on this given date and time, automatically that directory will be created. Now, if my user says cron tab-l, did you see that there is a task schedule? Every user can schedule it, and as a root, you can see who has done what. So who am I? Root. As a root, you can say cron tab-l with a username. Only root can do this. What is the username? My user. So you see, as a root, I am viewing what my user has scheduled. Not only you can view, but you can say EU, edit, open the file. So as a root, I am allowed to open the file and make the changes to whatever I want to make. Maybe I want to make two changes. Instead of 23, I made 22. Instead of 30, I made it 40. So as a root, I am allowed to make changes for any user. So that's the power of root. And I'll show you one more thing. As a user, if you made a mistake in any field, see guys, how many minutes are there? 59 minutes, 0 to 59. If I give by mistake 67 minutes, so do you think it's a correct syntax? Now, if you try to save it with errors, it will stop and tell you that you have given a bad minute. Any field, minutes, hour, day, whatever it might be, any field, if you do a mistake, it will say what you want to do. Do you want to retry? You can say yes or no. I'll say yes. So it will take you back, correct it, and now you save it. No problem. So that's also a benefit of using cron tab instead of directly putting by going into the file. Now the next thing or last couple of things, suppose I want to restrict my user not to have cron facility. Maybe I want to restrict it. I don't want this user to have cron facility. As of now, you see he is running cron tab-l, cron tab-e and is working. How to block any user from cron? If you go to etc and type cron and press double tap, you see there is cron.daily, cron.deny. So just go to cron.deny, open it up with VI editor and put the name of the user that you want to block. I want to block my user. Just save and quit. Go back to my user. Who am I? My user. Now you run cron tab-l. It says you are not allowed to run this command. Cron tab-e, you are not allowed to use this program. So whoever name you mention in that file, that name will be blocked except root, because root is most powerful. Even if you put root name for just fun, you will find root is not blocked. Root cannot be blocked. Other users can be blocked. Now, if you want to allow this user again, go back to the file, delete that name, come out, go back to the user again, try to run the command, and you see it is working. So this is how you can block a user. Suppose guys, I have 100 users, 95 users I want to block. and only 5 users I want to allow. How to block 95 users? One way, go to etc cron.deny and put 95 names. All 95s will be blocked. Or you can create one more file, etc cron.allow. In cron.allow, whatever names you are mentioning, only those names will be allowed. Automatically, rest of the users will be blocked. So just put 5 names that will be allowed. Automatically, 95 users whose name you did not put will be blocked. But why do I have to create cron.allow? You see, cron.deny is already present. I did not created it. Why it is asking me to create cron.allow manually? Because if you create cron.allow, don't put any name inside it. See, I created a file etc cron.allow. It is an empty file. Oops. Let me create an empty file etc cron.allow. Now you just check it out. It's an empty file. Nothing is present. So guys, if you have an empty file, then by default, all users will be blocked. You log in as any user. For example, I'll go with U1 user. One second, guys. Let me log in as U1 user. Who am I? U1. Say cron tab hyphen L, cron tab hyphen E. So my user is also not allowed to do that, and U1 is also not allowed to do that because we have an empty file. So if you have an empty cron.allow file, then no user in the system apart from root will be able to schedule a cron job. Only the names you are putting inside it. For example, I'll go with etc cron.allow. Put some name, maybe my user. So only my user will be allowed. Go to my user. Who am I? Now you say cron tab hyphen L. No problem. Switch yourself to other user and say cron tab hyphen L. See, my user was allowed to do the task, but U1 is not allowed to do this task, right? So this is what happens when you add the name in cron.allow. Only that user will be allowed, and automatically all the other users, maybe hundreds and thousands of users are there, all will be blocked. Now let us say that by mistake I put the name in both the file. So already in cron.allow there is a name called my user. Now I'm going to cron.deny, and in this file also I am putting my user. So situation is, in cron.allow you have my user, in cron.deny also you have my user. Allow is telling allow this fellow to run the commands. Deny is telling deny this fellow not to run cron. Now whose it will listen? Will it allow us to run the commands, or will it deny the access? What would happen? So allow is telling allow my user, and deny is telling deny my user. Now you see, who am I? My user. If I say cron tab hyphen L, it is allowing me. Cron tab hyphen E, it is allowing me. Why it happened? Because whenever you have allow created, deny will not have any importance. Deny will become useless, nominal. It will always listen to allow. Always, guys, in most of the cases you see, host.allow or cron.allow, allow will always have higher precedence. So whenever you have a name in allow and deny, it is always going to obey allow file. Okay. All right. Lastly, if I want to delete my cron file, okay, my work is over and I don't need a cron job file for me. I want to destroy it. No cron file for root. Who am I? Sorry. Who am I? Root. So as a root, if I want to destroy my own file, I'll say cron tab -r. Now you just check it out. There will be no file for root. If root says cron tab -l, it says there is no cron tab file. As a normal user also, you can say cron tab -r and your file will be removed. But as a root, if you want to remove anybody's file, you can say cron tab -r followed by u followed by user. Now you just check it out. Sorry, lu my user. It says there is no cron tab file for my user. So that's how, guys, we will be creating cron jobs and other things. So that is it, guys, for today's session. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are no questions, please give me no questions so that I can wind up the session. Okay. Can we back up the whole OS like we do in Windows? We can make image file and restore it anytime. See, there is no direct approach in Linux to do that. We have third-party tools like Mondo, Mindy that do that, but usually what happens is the whole system is backed up by a proper backup team who does this thing. But yes, maybe Red Hat is coming with this option like image file, what you are asking. They are trying to come up with an option called image builder. The name itself is image builder. So we might see something like that. But so far, there is no image builder kind of thing in Linux, but hopefully we might see. As of now, we are dependent only on this thing, what we can say backup team. Or if you are having a virtualization like VMware or Citrix, there you might have image option. So you can install one virtual machine with one image and you can create an image. With that image, you can deploy multiple machines. But directly within OS, creating image is not available so far. So am I clear, Shabir? Or are there any more questions? You can please let me know. Okay, great. So we'll stop the session here, guys. Let's meet up tomorrow and let's see another very important chapter. Thank you very much, guys. See you tomorrow.